Hello, my friends. Welcome on this fine Wednesday afternoon to Citizen Sleeper and my lovely stream. Fucking like about half an hour ago, I just felt all of my energy just evaporate. But we're gonna press on. See if we can get this tracking device out of our chest. See if we can keep going on this bizarre space habitat. This cool, weird, overgrown segment of it that's been cut off that I'm very fascinated by all of a sudden. And the strange mystery seed we got and how to plant it, because we downloaded a tree, I think. And I don't fully know the ramifications or what that means. But we'll find out. Hope you are all doing well on this afternoon. And I think let's just get going. We're on day 31. We have been on Erlen's Eye for a solid month now and had no shortage of horrible experiences. What's the clock going down here? Oh, right. We're being hunted by a super killer, according to the bounty hunter that took our job earlier. Out here. Oh, right. We can look at this. What do we got here? Slot the first Ripper. Right. We need to do a whole thing. Yeah. With Fang here. Which will help us disable our tracker, presumably. So let's enter the digital space. Alright, that's the DLC that they were talking about. And here we are at Conway Access. And I think let's try and help Fang out. Slotting this worm will allow Fang access into the facility. The worm tunnels in and starts looping data through the node. The Conway facility opens up to you. Godspeed, Fang. As you slot the worm, a thread jumps up out of the facility. It unspools in front of you, releasing its data like ink in water. Sleeper, Fang's voice crackles through. Moving in. Nodes, then ports. A whir of interference. Slot the worms. Timer starts now. Stay safe. The thread dissipates. You are on your own now. This node is linked to the outer security layer. Fang must be struggling to get through. A 1, a 2, or a 3? I got a 1 for you. Espionage, hacking. Let's go. Ripperworm 2. The first layer of security, a ring of doors around the central facility. Time to open them up. The Ripperworm creates its feedback loop, overloading the security system. Oh, we got 2 now. Both the S-layer nodes need to be extracted before the port will be open. Is there time? 1. Having that +2 on interfacing is great. Being able to use 3 different kinds of dice. The inner S-layer security is more complex. 1 access point won't be enough to locate the port. Ripperworm 3, almost done. The Ripperworm fries the drone's network link. Now they can't report anything. Oh, now we got 3. We're gonna need to come back tomorrow. 3 nodes to locate the final port. Then Feng will be in. Not much time left. You've seen how many nodes on this layer? You've never seen such tight security before. This node is buried deep in the wastes. This has to be the final security layer. Hold on, Feng. Oop, I didn't actually extract it, I just slotted it and left. Alright. One more, but we're out of dice. So, back to the Haifa commune. Take a nap. Wait. Oh, right, here it is. Take a nap. Okay. Six, 4, and 1. Got another 1. 3 nodes. Final Ripper Worm. This final layer controls surveillance. With this down, Feng should be able to control the facility's cameras. The Ripper Worm chews through the camera control. The moment it does, a thread shoots from the facility. Yeah, sorry, Scoop, I saw you texting me, but I can't focus on it at the moment. A thread from the facility cuts through the cloud like a hairline crack of light. That's it. The final layer of security broken. Somewhere buried deep in the depths of the station, Feng is in control. He is slicing into the camera control circuits and piping out the result. The thread flickers and unravels into an image, a scene, 2 figures in a room. One sat, the other pacing. No problem. Okay, cool. I didn't know if it was urgent or not. I thought it said something about headphones, so I assumed it wasn't. The pacing figure resolves into Hardin, the unmistakable superior posture, the shock of gray hair. The second figure's features don't seem to resolve. They're vague, unformed. A problem with the data, perhaps? You look closer. Then, you see it. The figure is a proxy. Perhaps you should have expected it from Conway, a corporation whose very existence is owed to automation. Welcome in all the same. I'm glad it wasn't urgent. The proxy is a machine designed to be piloted by remote connection. Someone elsewhere in the system puppeting it with their own body, speaking so it may speak. The proxy sits impassively, or the Conway executive that is piloting them does, from the distant safety of some ship or orbital colony, perhaps. We can move forward. There is no doubt, Hardin is saying. The reclamation teams are almost ready, and after that I will make the declaration. Nothing has to change. The proxy leans forward, its movements stilted, uneven, as if its body was being refracted through water. But things must change, Hardin. We need further assurances. I have been informed of a breach in one of the closed networks in the low end. You have been careless. Hardin waves the accusation away. We have been stretched. A breach was detected, yes, but no data of value was lost. Our board is concerned, Hardin. A drop in our value would be unwelcome at this time. The proxy leans back, its posture dominant. If the reclamation of AE-1 is contested, then we could be drawn into a compromising legal position. Hardin approaches the proxy. There will be no contest, not from Solheim, who cannot muster a defense, not from Havenage, who will fall into line below me. He crouches in front of the seated figure, eye to eye, and the people of this station, refugees, gangs, spacers, all either opportunists or degenerates. Havenage is no longer strong, no longer united. No one here believes in Erlin's vision, nor has the strength to enact it. I sat across from him at the negotiating table. He was forceful, eager, weakened by his ideological convictions perhaps, but a great man nonetheless. This place no longer deserves to bear his name. The eye is crippled. It cannot survive. It is a ruin filled with squatters and outlaws. They will be lucky if it still spins in 100 cycles. Hardin stands. You will move forward with the reclamation because otherwise you will lose your advantage in the system. Without your advantage, you will lose claims on the remaining palladium. Without the palladium, your factories will go dark. He pauses. Do I need to continue? One moment, comes the response from the proxy, and its head drops to its chest. Hardin steps back and paces once more, awaiting the discussion taking place elsewhere in the system. You watch Hardin as he paces, as he considers his future. What goes on within a mind like that, in the mind of a man who would burn all those around him for a path to some imagined golden end? The proxy lifts its head. We are happy to proceed. We will legally claim the station formerly known as Solheim E1 as salvage within 6 cycles. Havenage is to assist with the transport of the illegal residents to Conway housing and labor facilities. The proxy judders to its feet. Conway will also claim 70% of the raw output of the reclamation process after losses have been accounted for. Hardin nods. I accept. The proxy reaches out to shake his hand like a marionette, and then the recording loops. You watch it play out a second time, gripped by a horrified fascination. There is a bluntness to the conversation, to its blatant disregard for humans as anything other than objects. Things to be moved, to be used, to be fed into structures, crushed, and losses accounted for in the cells of tables, the margins of ledgers. You realize now that you are no different from anyone else on this station in the eyes of the people in that room, and those like them. Each body here can be recast as a piece of property, a tool, an expense, an acceptable loss. In one moment they can be named a citizen, celebrated, protected, and in another, the very idea of citizenship can be used against them. That is what it means to live in proximity to a system like this. No longer. Not while the eye spins. You gather the recording, pack it into a polygon of purest light. Then, you drift down into the service dock like a falling leaf and find the relay. It only takes a second to place that polygon of data, that recording, into the relay system Feng prepared. And then you watch as it bursts out, a web of threads, heading out into the black to every networked device on the eye. Let them see what power makes of a man. Hell yeah. Get fucked, Hardin. I'll save this to increase our intuit, I think. Actually, no. Let's give a +1 to engage. Picking up a couple +1s here and there is helpful in general. Alright, where the hell is Feng? Feng, where do you live? Or are you gonna contact me later? Oh, wait for Feng to return. Okay, yeah, he's out in the shit. Rico needs spores. Dental plan. Perfect, 2 spores. What were the farm stacks doing here? What can I do here? I could steal food, I could buy food, or work the stacks, which would just give me some cryo. The Haifa labs are spores, yep. The Haifa commune is... Oh, I can just get energy there. That's good, I need energy. Might as well. You were assigned work in the dorms, cleaning and repairing. It isn't the best work, but the meal at the end is welcome when it arrives. Yeah, that's fine. Let's get one more spore, because I think she needs 3. 2 more spores, that's fine. I'm gonna head back to the rim real quick. I can't remember what was going on with... Oh, well. As you enter Rabia's office, you hear voices. Is that Sabine? You push open the door. Sleeper, what good timing. Rabia calls out as you enter. I wanted to introduce you to someone. The man standing at the center of the room, speaking quietly with Rabia. As he turns as you... Excuse me, jeez. The man is standing at the center of the room, speaking quietly with Rabia. He turns as you come in. Meet Yannick. Sleeper? He nods. Been hearing good things from Rabbi. He smiles an easy smile. Good to meet you. Likewise, likewise. He waves a ringed hand. Now, Robbie, where were we? Actually, Rabia places a hand on your shoulder. The sleeper was what I wanted to talk to you about. She doesn't spare you a look. What is going on? Well, okay then. Yannick tucks his hands into his pockets. Go on. I'd like to recommend them to your ward. A tiny pause. They have shown themselves to be a capable ally here on the spoke side, but we have more than enough to run our territories. I hear the main block is proving more difficult. Yannick leans forward slowly. It's a mess, Rabbi. He waits, his tinted glasses shimmering despite the lack of light in the unit. I can use them, he suddenly decides. Rabia smiles. Good to hear. I can immediately... Yannick cuts her off with a raised hand. 1 second. He steps one surprisingly light step closer to you. You eager to work, sleeper? What kind of work? A question. Yannick lowers his head and raises it again, as if he dropped something. Nothing new for you, he answers, not quite looking at you. You don't follow. What is he saying? That concludes it, Yannick pronounces. Sleeper can come work in the ward anytime they like. You shoot Rabia a confused look. Rabia finally glances at you for a moment, but it is so fast that you almost miss it. Good. I know you'll be happy with their work, Jan. Yannick reaches out and squeezes her shoulder. Sure, Robbie, he says. Now please. He says, turning to face you. Let us old friends get back to it. He guides Rabia away, leaving you standing alone. You look to Rabia, but she is deep in conversation, and so, stunned and confused, you leave. Okay. I guess let's go to Yannick's ward. We need to get Yannick's trust. Yannick is a strange character, but he seems to understand the value of hard work. You'll gain his trust with time. The massive block at the center of the low end is made up of layers and layers of units. Patrolling this vertical city is a challenge. Okay. So that's our new job there. We'll get back to that later. In the meantime, I got spores to drop off. Rico is grateful for the contribution. Sleeper, you warm my heart with each delivery. Thank you. One more. Sleeper! Rico greets you without so much as looking up from her work. I have some of yours here, come see. She beckons you over to a heavyweight-looking console wired to a series of specimen jars, some of which contain your spores. Well, what does it say? The spores you have here are a real cocktail, a selection of types from within the groves, but I've been able to isolate a few. She taps one of the specimen jars. Here we have Tricholoma matsutake. Rico breezes through the Latin and Japanese pronunciations as if it were nothing. A species Solheim somewhat modified for use on the station. She brings up a panel on her console showing a chemical composition, all gradiented bars and obtuse acronyms. This is the composition of the Solheim modified matsutake spores. Modified? Yes, every species on the eye is a tweaked variant of Solheim's, of course, but that's not the point. Rico brings up another panel, identical in layout, but with wildly different colors and numbers. You see, this is what your matsutake spores look like. They are the same. That's the conclusion, yes. Rico glances at... Narrating in Rico's voice. Rico glances at the specimen jar as if it might have something to add. They are fundamentally the same spores, but they carry different chemicals, different signals. She leans back and sighs. Solheim might have introduced their own tweaked versions in the beginning, but the groves here are, and still are affecting them. Affecting them how? It's hard to tell without samples of fully grown mushrooms. She meets your eye. And herein lies our problem. She moves to another desk where two trays sit side by side. The first contains nothing but plant mulch. The second you smell before you even look at it. The pungent aroma of the fruiting matsutake like rotting, sodden overalls, laced with an edge of spice. The matsutake here are grown from Solheim stocks pulled from a spore vault in this complex. She winks. They are delicious, by the way. She sets them aside. The empty tray is germinated with the spores you collected. No activity, no germination, nothing. But the groves are full. Yes, they are. Rico looks at you directly, and you suddenly realize how much she is enjoying this. So here's our puzzle, Sleeper. Spores from the groves won't grow in the lab. But gathering fruiting bodies from the groves is too unpredictable. We need to grow a fruiting body from some of these spores, so we can track it, understand it. In short, I need you to become my mushroom farmer. Actually, I already started. Rico looks impressed. Well, an eager mycologist. I'd have never guessed. I assume you set yourself up in the aviary? I've been eyeing that place up for its proximity to the groves. Bring me whatever grows. Not just matsutake. There's more than a couple variants in there, so I'll need plenty of samples. She plucks a matsutake cap from the tray. These little things are reflections of their conditions. Their smell, their taste, their chemistry. It all derives from the conditions of their growth. She smells the cap. Enough of these, and we'll have a picture of what is happening here, of the ways in which this biosphere is modifying itself, or being modified, whichever the case may be. Rico pops the matsutake cap into her mouth, taking you by surprise. And don't worry, Sleeper, she says while softly chewing. If this turns out to be a dead end, I'll make sure not a single mushroom goes to waste. All right. The old growth from the aviary has created a rich medium in which you can place the spores from the groves. They'll grow well here. Oh yeah, I wanted to go check, speaking of mushrooms being grown, I wanted to go check on our still. Oh, it's done. Tala comes to you one shift when the bar is empty, tapping you on the shoulder as you clean the bar. It's ready. She is grinning from ear to ear. The Girol? Obviously! She grabs you by the arm before you can ask anything else and drags you into the back room. The smell hits you immediately when you enter, a cocktail of rich fermentation and chemical sharpness. The room is warm and bright now, the newly installed lights making the place look clean, whether it is or not. Tala has already pulled up a couple of stools around a metal crate where two glasses with a few fingers of pale Girol inside sit waiting. Mushroom Lady. I like the Mushroom Lady. She's a fun old scientist. She smiles. I haven't even tried it yet. You can see she's nervous. Hey, Bridge, welcome in. Happy to see you here. Happy to see everyone here. You both sit at the makeshift table, the slight strangeness of the situation making you both jumpy. Tala hands you a glass. Cheers, she says solemnly, and knocks the glass back. You do the same. The first sensation is burning. A sharp nose-clearing blast of alcohol that has your frame querying whether you would like to activate safe mode. You gulp the drink back, and it is only then, behind the burn, that you taste the earthy tones of the mushrooms, the wood and the soil left behind by the sediment. Barely there. Not bad, actually. Tala raises an eyebrow. You sure? As promised, though. You think? She swirls the glass and puts it down. Wait, I have an idea. Tala grabs a metal bottle from the newly installed work surface and adds a few drops of water into the Girol. Try again. This time the burn is a warming glow. Harsh, but fading off, and the woodiness less heavy. You taste something floral in among the marshy decay. Something fresh and bright that you never expected to find. Both you and Tala meet eyes. It's really good, right? Definitely better. She nods and takes another sip. Damn good. Tala pours out some more Girol and then adds some more water. The action's already taking on the quality of a ritual. You both drink. Tala tucks her feet up beneath her on the stool, folding her legs. She looks down into her glass and swirls the liquid thoughtfully. What's on your mind? Tala looks up at nothing in particular. My father opened this place, you know, she says out of nowhere, a thought suddenly becoming words. It was his attempt at making a life for us, for my family, when we got to the Eye. Your family? My father, my mother, my little brother. She takes a drink. They aren't around now. I'm sorry. It's okay. My parents had long lives, and my brother is somewhere in the Starward Belt. Ran off with a salvage crew. She puts her glass down. He's alive, as far as I know. I was just thinking about something my father told me. When he first set this place up, he wanted to call it the Bentayan, but he was afraid it'd scare off the customers, so he kind of translated it. Hence, the Overlook. In these past few cycles, when I've been in here, I've been thinking that I should rename the place. She looks at you. The Bantayan. What do you think? What does it mean? Dad said he translated it to Overlook, so something like that. Watchtower, maybe, lookout. Tala picks up her glass. That settles it then. To the Bantayan. You both clink your glasses and drink up. Tala hisses through her teeth. Still harsh. She laughs, and then suddenly grabs your shoulder. Oh, sleeper! I totally forgot! She stumbles to her feet. She lurches over to a corner of the room covered with a plastic sheet, and whips it off like a magician performing a trick. Beneath it is a neat little kitchen. A sink, a work surface, and a compact oven with a hob. Your kitchen! She doesn't give you time to respond. You can come make stuff here anytime as long as you promise not to raid the mushroom farm. I need those for the Girol. I was thinking too that if things pick up, we can start serving proper food at the the Bantayan. She laughs. Do you like it? It's perfect. Tala gives you a hug and then quickly stands back. I'm sorry, I'm so glad you're here. She grins. Me too. As Tala tidies away the glasses, you inspect the kitchen, checking that it all works. It's small and salvaged, but after what you've had to put up with, it feels like a dream come true. Later, when she's done for the day, Tala comes back through the door, and you share a glass of the good Girol, the one she didn't distill. And this time, you talk about nothing in particular, sharing stories about regulars or discussing the best places to eat on the Eye, which, after everything that has happened, feels like a nice change of pace. When it comes time to leave, you promise to cook for Tala and agree to let her know which shifts you'll be working in the coming cycles, and then slip out into the cool of the rotunda. And in this moment, you feel, for once, at home. Nice. That was really cool. Okay. I'm gonna head on back to the Greenway. I think mushrooms are our first priority because I want to figure out what's going on with Gardner. Because clearly Gardner is doing something to help make all of this stuff actually grow. But I don't know what it is, and I want to know because I like all the weird digital creatures. After that is Rabia, because she's cool as shit. Though we'll deal with Fang whenever he fucking shows up again so that we can get our tracker out, hopefully. That's my plan. I need spores! Do I reroll the 3, hope for better? Yeah. Perfect. I'm a genius. Spore these up. Because I'm probably going to have to wait for them to grow. I'm guessing it's going to be a clock. Fill that. And 4 cycles. Yep. Okay. We got a good amount of time before Maywet comes back, so... I'm glad we helped Tala set up her still. That was cool. Alright. Back to the Founder's Ferry. I think we start playing these. Get some of that Yannick's trust up. Factories, restaurants, surgeries, schools. The layers of the block are rich with stories and problems to solve. You are starting to learn them all. Might be able, if I get lucky on this reroll, to finish this whole thing in a day. I got lucky on this reroll. Spend one really long day doing everything for Yannick at once. You almost laugh when you see it. The same small recorder stuck to a different wall this time. Written across the fluorescent tape is that familiar word, sleeper. You grab it quickly. Rabia says sorry. Sabine's voice sparks up again. She says she didn't have time to brief you before setting you up with the old man. I'm sure you've got the play by now. Earn his trust, work the block. Then we need you to get into his office. A pause. It's risky, but obviously you are the only one of us he doesn't already know. Either way, we need to locate the link to SNARP. You hear a shout in the background of the recording. Rabia says, be careful. Sabine continues. The data suggests there's some relay processing the implant data and sending it to SNARP, but we can't lock down its position. Either he's moving it, or it's moving itself, or it is rerouting through other relays. We can't understand it. Maybe you can find some details on it in his office. Once he trusts you, you should be able to get close enough to get in the office. You'll only get one shot. The recording creaks and whines. That's the final piece of the puzzle to end this. A pause. Good luck, sleeper. I'm sorry, too. Be safe. The recording clicks off, leaving you in silence. You pocket the recorder, just in case, and walk away. Looks like it is up to you. I don't think I want to do that with a 3. That's a little too risky, I think. Where the hell is Fang? I need regular mushrooms as well, because I need to give those to Emphas, my cook buddy. You find a hidden grove where clouds of spores fizz in the air. You feel energized as you inhale the glittering powder. Well, that didn't help me, but it didn't hurt me either, so... I mean, it gave me a little bit of energy, I guess, but... I wasn't super hurting for energy, to my knowledge. They're good dice. Running low on... I'm starting to lose dice, though, as I am breaking a little bit. But I will burn a 6 on this immediately. Guaranteed success to find the relay. You spot the countermeasure on the drawer moments before you touch it. This has to be it, but you can't rush it. You look at the countermeasure on the drawer. It looks like some kind of shock trap. If you'd grabbed the drawer, you'd likely have thousands of volts running through your system right now. You wince. Once you find the anchor points, it comes away easily enough. You prise it from the drawer quickly and quietly, then listen for footsteps in the corridor outside. Nothing. All clear for now. You slide the drawer open, looking for other countermeasures that might be inside, expecting to see a chunk of tech, the relay. But as you slip it open, all you see is a handful of wires and an empty implant cradle. Is this some kind of mistake? You freeze for a moment, unsure what to do next. Why keep an implant cradle so closely guarded? You remember Yannick having an implant, a small plate on the side of his head just above his ear. You assumed it was for hearing or vision. Those shimmering glasses of his come back to you in your memory. His strange movements, his speech. You look again at the cradle, and there it is, printed on the frame. Proprietary technology. Property of SNARP. Rabia said the relay moved, that they couldn't get a fix on it. What if Yannick was the relay? The thought hits you like a shock. Yannick, with a remote relay implanted in his head, networked to every single implanted enforcer in the low end. A shudder runs through you. Is he even in control? Or has SNARP wormed its way into the man? Could he even be considered separate from the corporation itself? You think of your own legal status as proprietary technology, a puppet with cut strings. Time to cut Yannick's strings, then. You reach around inside the cradle and find it, a remote connection, a tiny bead of a transmitter, likely controlling the link to SNARP. There it is. You pause for a moment, then you squeeze it, snap it from the frame, and it crumples, sparks, and dies. It takes a moment before the shouts come before the scream, and you are already on your way out, down the corridor, down through the unit that serves as the lobby to Yannick's office. Then, out onto the walkway where Yannick lies still, enforcers gathered around him, bemused. I'm out. You've seen enough. The connection is cut, and whatever Yannick was, or had become, is gone. Your anger is a hard core in your chest, and all of it is focused on SNARP. Gotta wait another 4 cycles for Rabia. Feng! You bastard! Feng grins at you as the bay door slides open. Above, in the rest of the building, people are busy, frightened. They speak in hushed tones and organize endless meeting after endless meeting. Havenage have avoided a full-blown crisis for now, but change is coming. Feng is in good spirits and bundles you inside before you even have the chance to greet him. That was the slickest operation the station has ever seen! He hugs you firmly. You made my job easy! He shakes you by the shoulders. I'm so proud! And, he smiles, I got to watch through the cameras as the Havenage security that weren't in on it assaulted the station. Feng smiled. One of them straight up just whacked Harden with their pistol. It was beautiful. They have him? He's being held, yeah. He looks around. I think the idea is to use him as leverage with Conway, get them to back off. Maybe they'll exile him when they're done, or hand him over to some core authority. Feng shrugs. Now I know he won't be an issue, I'm gonna focus on systems for a bit. He shakes his head, seeing as that's my actual job. He points to the ceiling. The people upstairs weren't so happy, though. They've been fielding questions about the state of the eye right and left since the recording got out. People are scared. Not surprised. Yeah, this whole thing hasn't won me many fans in the administration. But I think in the end they'll all agree that outing Hardin was worth it, whatever the methods. He touches a stack of hardware. The eye is old. It was never meant to run like this. The master control points that Erlin and Havenage installed, they keep it spinning from the rim. That isn't ideal. Oh, geez, that was not narration. I'm gonna redo that line. He touches a stack of hardware. The eye is old, and it was never meant to run like this. The master control points that Erlin and Havenage installed, they keep it spinning from the rim. That isn't ideal. But if you're asking me if the eye will stop spinning next cycle, no. He smiles. And me and a ton of other skilled people will be working to stop it happening in the cycle after that. Hardin's problem was that he didn't believe in people. He believed in systems and their ability to shape the world around them. Feng squeezes your shoulder. But as far as I'm concerned, people should be the ones running the systems, not the other way around. Anyway, Feng raps on the side of his terminal. I know you didn't come down here for a lecture. My tracker. I haven't forgotten. He produces a thumbnail drive. I managed to finish that code solution I showed you. It's a modified Ripperworm, one made to deactivate that tracker of yours. But in the time since I got back, I added something extra. That tracker of yours doesn't just show SNARP where you are, it transmits data about the state of your body, your current condition. My worm doesn't just deactivate it. It'll edit that data to tell SNARP your body is irreparably damaged. DNR, do not retrieve. He grins widely. Pretty smart, right? That's perfect. Just slot it in already. You take the drive and hold it in your hand. Then you close your eyes and open up your access ports. Take down your defenses. The worm immediately enters your closed network. It whips through it, taking things with it as it goes. The moment they are gone, you forget they were ever there. They just blink out of existence. A second later, it is done. You open your eyes. How do you feel? Asks Feng a little nervously. Tired. Aren't we all? He pats you on the shoulder. Take it easy. Things might be a little woozy for a minute. He looks at his terminal screen. The logs tell me it worked, so feel it or not, you are free. Feng lets the word free hang in the air a little before he continues. Seems like it might be finally time for a celebration. Feng wraps his arm around you. Jenna still owes us those drinks. He laughs, and you join him, and later, when you leave, you feel deeply thankful for having such a friend. As you walk away from the building, you look up at the wide curve of the eye, up at the hub, and the other rim beyond it. The whole thing twinkles with lights, and it seems impossible to see it as anything other than breathtakingly beautiful. It feels, in that moment, like something eternal. That doesn't mean it can, or even should, last forever, or that it will never change, fade, or decay. It simply means that in this moment, this place has a future, and it is one that you know, deeply and truly, is worth protecting. Hell yes! Our tracker is gone. I'm picking up excessive haggler to make everything cheaper. So is my... No, that guy's still coming. Maybe it'll go away after I take a nap. Oh, it's Ethan, you bitch. The compressor is almost empty when you enter. A couple of scattered patrons in the booths and a lone bartender. The bartender recognizes you immediately when you arrive and nods, and you return the greeting. You know already that you won't find Ethan here, but you had to be sure. With your tracker reporting you dead, he wouldn't have stuck around. You look at the empty stool, his empty stool, and you smile. You can imagine him on it when his slate chirps, letting him know that the target he was tracking is dead. You can imagine the screaming and the swearing too. Hell yeah, no more tracker. Is that all you were to Ethan? Another target? Or was there something else going on? It seems like a foolish question to ask now when he has fled the station, but it bothers you anyway. You take one last look and walk out. You doubt you will ever come back to this place, or the memories it holds. You walk back out into the lights of the bright market and allow yourself to smile. So this is what Feng meant when he said you were free. You could get used to this. Have I opened all of low end? No, I have not. Let's play Tavla. Oh. I could, get a room in low end if I want. Who is this? You cross between two walls of units, one of the cavernous streets at the center of the low end. The pressurized bridge is full of the clack of tavla, the shouts of children, the whir of air filters. Sleeper. You turn to see a man at a tavla table alone, somehow untouched by the hustle and bustle of the people around. He gestures to the stool on the opposite side of the table. Sir. You sit at the metal stool and he starts setting out the board with counters, or at least the filter caps low-enders typically use in their place. Castor, he says by way of introduction, looking over his glasses. Night or day? He asks, gesturing at the caps, crudely sprayed with white or black. Night. He nods. The black counters are already on your side. Let's begin. You take a plastic die, each pitted and worn, and roll to determine who starts first. Castor rolls a 4. Castor rolls a 6. You a 4. I lead. He smiles and begins to move his first cap precisely along the board. Play passes back and forth between you, the dice changing hands as the caps spread along the board. As it does, Castor speaks, eyes not leaving the caps. It is unusual to see a sleeper on the eye. That's why I wanted to play you. You take your turn, rolling a 5 and a 6. Play carefully. After all, a sleeper's mind must be somehow different to a human one. Being emulated, I mean. As Castor talks, you build up a wall of caps, stacking them safely across the board. Progress is slow, but you remain unexposed. I don't mean to offend. Castor meets your eye. I merely see that you are, by definition, different. What has been subtracted in the emulation? What has been added? He slides a single cap onto an open point, a risk and an opportunity. He hands you the dice. Do you ever think about this, sleeper? About what you were before and what you are now? Always. You roll a double 1 and solidify your wall. Castor whistles. The holding game. Commendable. It can be brave to build from what came before. He rolls the dice and leaps your wall in a single move. But we cannot idle too long, sleeper. The slower we move, the slower we are caught. The past you is not just an idea, a concept for you. It is a living, breathing person. He looks up over his glasses, his eyes bright and wide. You split from them like a shadow splitting from its caster. They may be sleeping now, yes, but one day they will awake and carry on with their lives unaware of your fate, no matter what it may be. He hands you the dice, smiling. You are a branch severed from the main trunk, an offshoot who refuses to die, so to speak. You roll again, under pressure now, trying to slip your caps out from under Castor's before he solidifies control of the game. So what I am curious about is how you see yourself in all of this. Castor asks, what does this tangle of truths make you? At this point, free. Yes. Castor looks away, through the glass to the crowded units on all sides. I can see that. Your life as an escapee was never meant to happen. Yet here we are. He starts removing caps. His home board is now full. Your life is an offshoot. It can go anywhere from here. You try a few more rolls attempting to get back in the game, but Castro clears his home board with a sense of the inevitable. He has known he was winning for a while. I feel I may have pushed too far. He slides another cap from the board. I apologize. My curiosity has a habit of getting the better of me. You roll to return a cap to the board, but all the spaces are blocked. Castro claps his hands apologetically. You play well, really. Your weakness is not your game. He smiles warmly. We have much to learn from each other. He slides his glasses back up his nose and sits back. I feel we could share knowledge, ideas, perhaps even data. His eyes glint with that last word. To our mutual benefit. He slides his final cap from the board. It is over. He has won. I'll see. Please, I don't want to make you uncomfortable. He holds up his palms. My intention is only to help you endure here, and if I am able, feed my curiosities. The game over, you notice the bustle of the walkway once more, the call of the children, the deliveries, the arguments and reconciliations. They wash over you as you stand and leave, Castro nodding goodbye as you do. Crossing the walkway, you replay the moves of the game in your mind, looking for an opening you are sure was there. Interesting. So you will give me data for... You'll give me something for data, but I need 5 yet again or Haven Edge. I need some cryo because I need some stabilizer. Wait. Oh no, the stabilizer guy's gone. Oh no, I don't know where to get stabilizer now. Uh-oh. I could cook. I don't need to. Well, I hope this is a problem that'll resolve itself somehow. Do you sell anything of value? No. Fuck. Oh boy. Okay. It's fine. It'll be fine. Oh man. What can I do out here? Oh, I don't have endure at a +1, so I can't do anything. That's for later. I need mushrooms. Let's forage for some mushrooms. Forage for some mushrooms. Yeah, I'll ever forage for some mushrooms. I'm a fucking wreck today, y'all. Jesus. I cannot keep focus. Some days, brain no work is good. You can tell by how much I'm stumbling over all the fucking line reads. I'm a wreck today, y'all. Welcome to the club. I'm glad I'm not alone in this, at least, I suppose. Some small comfort, I guess. Not really, but I don't want anyone to be a wreck. Myself included, even. Alright, we got one more day before our mushrooms grow, but I think we have enough that I can give this to Emphas now. Yeah, my dude. Emphas wants to make this old recipe. He'll need 3 handfuls of Girol caps, fresh and firm. Emphas eagerly takes the bright yellow Girol caps. He seems pleased with them. Oh, he needs cycles now, too. I'm just killing time. Let's see about getting some Havenage data. Hello, can I hack you? I'm gonna hack you now. Thank you for all your private data. How about you? Thank you for all your private data. And again. I want another Havanage. Might not be a bad idea to do a shift at the the commune though, just to get some free food. Well, free food. Work for food. Commune members are expected to turn up for work assignments, and in return, their needs will be met. All are treated equally. You are assigned work in the canteen, feeding others. The work is hard, but you enjoy sharing the effort with other members. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, the clock of us being hunted is gone. We'll never see that man. I do find it weird that Ethan was allowed to just bail, despite the fact that he apparently owed a shitload of money to that bartender. I can't do anything here, right? It's all ghosted. Yeah. Let's get my mushrooms. Did I get them? What do I do? Oh, do I have to harvest? Yeah, okay. Give me some good shit. The crop of fruiting bodies has broken the surface of the mulch. Once harvested, you'll have to grow more. You carefully pick out the best developed caps from the mulch, especially fascinated by the aroma of the club-like bodies you discover. Clubhead caps. And Matsutake. Ugh. Bad. Terrible. Unfortunate. Well. How many did you need? Oh, just... Oh god, so many mushrooms. Holy hell! Oh no, they're probably worth more than one. Yeah, okay. The Matsutake caps. You hand over the caps and Rico looks pleased. My amateur mycologist, thank you. The rich and pungent Matsutake caps are Rico's preferred subject of study, something about their environmental sensitivity. The pale and delicate Durul mushrooms are more abundant than the Matsutake, but they will still help. Beautiful! Rico gushes as you hand over the golden caps. You've never seen someone so excited about mushrooms. Alright, I need one more Durul cap. I got almost enough from that. I don't know what to do with these, though. I want to go real quick, though, to here. Let's see if I can hack another Havenage agent. That's another Yanagan. Havenage. Zynga. Because I want to go give that data to, Caster. There you are, bud. What are the old guard up to these days, I wonder? I have a ship mind for you if you'll indulge my curiosity. Oh, he can give me stabilizer for 5 Yadigan data. I should have been hacking them. I appreciate what you've presented, but I have nothing more to offer. I don't know if I have any use for a ship mind right now, but I could sell it for 150 bucks. Oh, I think I have a use for the ship mind, but it's for somebody who I'm not really following their story. I only have time for so many of you people. Alright, we're no longer being hunted. Our body is still at the risk of breaking down, and we're still suffering under the, you know, yoke of capitalism, but things are looking up, sort of. Okay. I want to go back to the rim. I want to find Yadigan agents. I want to hack Yadigan agents. I want to get a vial of stabilizer because I'm going to break down and lose another die next time. That's a Havenage agent, I don't care. You Yadigan, you're Yadigan. Give me your everything. Give me your secrets. I think you just described the average person's life in a sentence and a half. I'm being hunted, but I'm still breaking down and suffering under the yoke of capitalism. Yeah, that really does feel like it a lot of the days, huh? Derogatory. Hey, dude. Check this shit out. The stories about the Yadigan are brutal, but I want the truth. A vial of stabilizer should provide the motivation. That's enough for now, Sleeper. I have other things to attend to. You might do something later. Okie dokie. Let's go to the Greenway. Capitalism. Okay, that 5 will get us a mushroom. We need your all caps. I can't afford to wait for another entire fucking fruiting season of mushrooms. But I think I only needed one more of these to finish Rico's thing. Perfect. Rico meets you at the entrance to the lab, leaning on her crutch with a glint in her eye. Walk with me, Sleeper. I'd like to tell you a story. She makes her way down the corridor that leads back up towards the main commune building. When people first crossed what we call Founder's Gap into the Greenway, they did so against the wishes of Andre Erlin. At the time, Erlin was trying to stabilize the Union and establish control over the Eye in the wake of Solheim's collapse. It was chaos, competing factions, failing systems, so many dead and injured from the riots. That was his priority. Listen. You both crossed through a glass-roofed tunnel, the Greenway outside crowded with vines and branches dappling the light. Erlin had written the Greenway off. Cut off from the rest of the station and linked to a broken spoke, he claimed it was only a matter of time before everything here would die. He refused to let anyone abandon their duty to the Union and cross. They were traitors to the cause, or as good as. Rico continues, making her slow but steady way into the inner gardens of the commune. There weren't many of us, but we believed what was here was worth saving. Oh shit, I just noticed that an ad started. Oops. I forgot to snooze it. Okay, I'm gonna pause and wait here and redo this line after the ad finishes. 'Cause I meant to stop, but I got distracted by picking mushrooms. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well in this fine afternoon. Oh, I can finally respond to Scoop's text. Man, I'm tired. I'm so tired. Like 95% with the finished with the minis I showed y'all last night while I tried deciding what colors to paint some funky mushroom lands. Ooh. That's good. I have 2 suggestions for you, and you can take them or leave them as you see fit. My first suggestion is one that denotes to our D&D game. You could make them, try and paint them charred and magmatic almost. Fiery fungal boys. Or, as always, for mini painting, I always encourage pride flags. They're just really fun to see implemented on minis, I feel like. Scoop has done some pride flag Gundams and things like that in the past, and they've always looked incredibly cool. I love them. Okay, we're back. I think I caught it right when it, ooh, a pride flag themed dreadnought, that sounds sick. I think I caught it right when it started, so I'm just gonna redo this whole line right here. And we shall resume. Riko continues, making her slow but steady way into the inner gardens of the commune. There weren't many of us, but we believed what was here was worth saving. We had to keep our plan secret until we crossed, and some of us left people behind. She pauses to catch her breath, her voice cracking. It's difficult to know if from effort or emotion. Ooh, Elden Ring themed Scarlet Rot Mushroom, guys. This is also a really good pitch from Vibes. I dig that a lot. Scarlet Rot's always a great vibe. What we found was a disaster. Nothing like what you see here. Half of the greenway was leaking oxygen into space, the plants flash frozen. The other half was a swamp of mulch, as decaying matter clogged every system. We worked hard, we lost good people. We cleaned up and closed up, but it was never going to be enough. After many, many cycles, we all knew this place was doomed, but we kept on working, talking less and less because we couldn't face it. We'd all developed a death wish. If the Greenway was gonna die, so would we. What changed? Everything, Riko smiles. We crossed some invisible boundary, tipped some biological scale, and the Greenway started to recover. Plants flowered, crops sprouted for the first time, we reaped the fruits of our labor. Riko smiles, looking up at you. We thought it was us, that we managed to do just enough to end the cycle of decay. I thought we had saved the Greenway. Until today. You pass into the grow beds of the commune, rich with the hustle and bustle of Haifa members planting and harvesting. For a while, Riko is quiet, and you both simply observe the hypnotic movements of the work crews, the eager chatter washing over you like a wave. Riko smiles to herself. I should have known, of course, that our arrogance was unfounded. But we needed to believe back then. We needed a myth to bring more people across the gap. You both move into a smaller corridor, Riko following some direction unknown to you. What you have shown me is that, back then, the Greenway saved us, not the other way around. Tell me, have you ever consumed one of the Matsutake or Girol caps you've been growing? I mean, like, not raw, but yes. I imagine they were delicious, nutritious, almost uniquely so, she muses. After all, they were designed for you. Riko has a mischievous look. At first, I thought it was the location they were grown that made the mushrooms from the aviary, from the lab, or from the grove different to each other. But what I've come to understand is that it's the person growing them. The Matsutake and Girol caps you brought me are totally unique, containing compounds never usually found in similar specimens in my possession. Many of these compounds aren't even digestible for humans. But for a sleeper like you, Rico smiles as she leads you into the internal garden of the commune where the Haifa members have planted species from all over the Greenway. Back when the tide turned, when the Greenway started to recover, we all felt something. A response. It was as if this place was not just alive, as a forest is alive, but alive in other ways. Communicative, responsive. We shrugged it off at the time, but now I want to understand why. Rico stops and turns to you. This place is responding to us, adapting itself to us. It is growing fruiting bodies for you, for me. It is adapting, changing. It is, in short, displaying all the signs of sentience. The Greenway is sentient. Perhaps not the Greenway, but the ecosystem itself or something within it. Rico sits on a bench within the peaceful gardens and gestures for you to join her. When you must have been growing the girolles and the matsutakes in the aviary, these species so familiar to the Greenway, have you discovered any others? Yes. Rico can barely contain her excitement. I should like to see those. Please bring me some the next time you're here. You look around the garden, amazed at the sense of peace within it. Rico interrupts that silence. There is a species of mushroom that I haven't seen in years. It is dark, short, shaped like a club. We first found it in those early days when we were working to save this place. It was around the time that we started to lose our first members. They were succumbing to some infection, some mold growing deep in the dark mulch that drowned this place. At that point, we thought we were lost, and then these mushrooms emerged from that same black mold. We tested them and saw that they contained some compound that counteracted the mold. They contained an antidote. Of course, as a botanist, I saw this as part of the natural processes of the ecosystem, even if the timescales seemed absurdly short. But what I'm wondering is if that antidote was a gift. Rico meets your eyes. Perhaps if you're patient, you will receive your gift too, Sleeper. I think I already have. Yeah, somewhere safe to plant this gift. You both sit for a while, Rico seemingly done telling stories for today. You watch the light playing off the leaves and plants around you, and wonder what forces could be at play in this place. After a while, you stand and leave with a quiet nod to Rico, leaving her to her memories. Yeah, we got club heads. Aw, damn it. I am gonna have to grow another cycle. I only have enough. I only have 2 out of, 3 that we need. Damn. Blasting damn. I would like to leave and purchase food. Can I purchase food? Here. No. I think Emphas... Oh, he won't do anything right now. Alright, fine. Let's just go work at the fucking commune. Can I buy food at the bar? No. Cook food at the bar? That doesn't help. I just buy food at the Minji Express? No. I can work it. Yeah, fuck it, I'll work it. We'll take the chance. Good enough. Some energy, some cryo. Easy. Okay. Actually, I think we're gonna be on this side today. So let's just go back to our shipping container and sleep there. Yeah, I should use this. No. No, wait, I'm gonna do it next time. Oh shit, I should have done it that time. Oh well, whatever. Okay. Oh yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on today. Okay. Let's start with Emphas. I think that's going to be easiest, and I'm hungry. Emphas is preparing the Girolle caps. He has had to heavily adapt this recipe. He says, but the smell is already incredible. It emanates from a strange purplish-white bulb you've never seen before, and he is slicing it finely. He brushes and slices the mushrooms and then places them in the wok with the sliced bulb in the oil. They caramelize there, in that well-worn crucible. He adds liquids, transparent and opaque, and then turns down the heat. A sprinkle of leaves is the final touch.
We have a moment, Sleeper.
He smiles.
Do you have a story?
Something in the scent of the food gives you a feeling of nostalgia, something distant and melancholic. It seems like the story should match the feeling somehow, and maybe you will feel better for retelling it. Tell another sleeper's stories. You start by explaining what it was like to work alongside the other sleepers, or at least what you remember of it after your long trip through the void. You try and explain that the close proximity you lived and worked in didn't always engender the kind of closeness you might imagine, and that, mostly, each sleeper was just as lonely as another. You do remember one, however, an extractor who you ended up on an asteroid extraction detail with. Like most sleepers, they had a few nascent memories left behind from the person they were emulated from. But these memories almost exclusively focused on a daughter that they could never fully recall. All they had of her was a handful of half-eroded memories and emotions, both someone else's and also their own. You recall how one cycle that sleeper simply kicked off from the asteroid into the black, their propulsion units firing until they were empty. You tell Emphas how you watched them fade away and wink out, suddenly lost in the void. After that, you stare quietly for a long time, watching Emphas cook. Emphas finishes cooking and meets your eye.
I'm sorry, Sleeper, for your troubles.
He puts the wok to one side.
I appreciate you sharing with me.
He smiles.
I hope it lightens you a little.
He passes you a bowl and heaps the drools into it, their yellow color mixing with the pale sauce and the whorls and blooms.
Eat.
The dish is delicious, filling. It warms you as you eat in a way you weren't even sure your body could be warmed. It is a small mercy, you think, that SNARP left you this pleasure. Many of the features of frames are there to simulate human experience. You know that much. Emulated minds cannot be rewired, so their need for embodied experience must be met. That is why you breathe, even when you do not need air. Without that stimulation, the sensation of drowning would be unbearable. Food serves another purpose. Your frame is able to metabolize it, to produce energy from the raw material. Vitamins and minerals are excess, of course. Your frame only needs raw power. So much is wasted. And yet, while you eat this food and feel that warmth, nothing feels wasted. It all means something to you. As you finish, Emphas takes the bowl, the last of his cleaning. He smiles at you, and neither of you feel the need to say anything more. Instead, you simply exchange nods and walk your separate ways back into the bright market, somehow changed. All right. Let's deal with the Rabia situation, though. Even before you enter the office, you can hear the sound of Rabia working the heavy bag. She is hammering it, the chain creaking as it shakes with each hit. She's been like this since... Sabine doesn't finish the sentence. They are sitting on a stool looking at the terminal in the corner, searching through the SNARP data you pulled all those cycles ago. She okay? Just angry. We all are. But you have to remember she knew Yannick for a long time. Sabine glances nervously at Rabia. What SNARP did. Rabia stops punching, and in the silence you can hear her breathing hard. Sabine looks over at her and you sense something between them. You realize you haven't seen them together since they tried to kill each other in the same unit. A lot has changed since then. They hooked him up like a puppet. Rabia hits the bag. Rigged that thing in his head so that they could control him. Pushed the old Yannick out. I don't know why he let them in. Rabia throws a few more punches, but it's a lesson. Don't let them in. Another flurry. Yadigan shouldn't deal with corporations. And we never will again. She spits. She comes away from the bag, At least Yannick's death has been treated as natural. There's a chance we come back from this that Yadigan can hold on. But there are opportunists trying to take control. Sabine turns to you. Yes, but now the connection has been broken. I've been looking at removing the trackers from the implants in Yadigan's enforcers. It's a significant job, but I think with time, I can do the surgeries. Rabia walks away from the bag towards the far side of the unit. Those surgeries will never happen if Yadigan collapses, she shouts back at Sabine. Clearly, this is a well-worn argument in this unit. Will Yadigan really collapse? I don't think so, no. Rabia doesn't either. They look over at her. At least not when she's calm. What I understand now is that Yadigan can be something if we want it to be. Coming here from Essenarp, from the core worlds, all I saw was a gang. And with Yannick keeping me on a tight leash, they shudder. Rabia believes, and I want that belief. They look unsure. I also want to be done with Essenarp, but I doubt that they are done with me. They glance away, rubbing their shoulders. Are you and Rabia? Sabine fixes you with a look. Yes, sleeper. Isn't that obvious? They smile. I've been wanting to say... Sabine begins nervously. I'm sorry that I didn't tell you where I came from. I know I've apologized before, but I want to again. They pause. Properly. When I leaked the data on the sleeper program, it was to try to help people like you. They grit their teeth. But after all the cycles here, being pushed down, pushed around, trying to survive, all that got away from me. So when you turned up, they sigh. It shook me up. They run a hand through their hair. But I ended up here, so... They look at Rabia. Oh, of course. They reach into a pocket and take out a handful of vials. These are the last of the case. You can have them. They drop them into your hands. After these last few, I don't know what we can do. With the Essenarp connection broken, they look down. But I know that there are other ways. Repairs, other pharmaceuticals. I even heard that there are some labs out in the Greenway. Perhaps they can help. They meet your eye. I'm sorry, I can't do more. Thank you for everything. They look away, their eyes bright with tears. Rabia crosses back to you both and sits beside Sabine. They look at each other and you can't help but smile at the idea of them together. What are you two plotting? Rabia grins. Sabine laughs and the sound is a welcome one. You watch the two of them teasing each other and smile. Later, when you leave, you take that handful of vials out of your pocket and look down at them. You can still feel that core of anger deep down inside, and you don't know if it will ever leave. But Essenarp doesn't own you anymore. They can't, because this place, these people, own you. They are what makes you get up every cycle. They are what keeps you breathing. You put the vials away and walk through the low end, your senses tuned to every sight, every smell, and every sound, soaking it all in, living. Yo, 3 stabilizer, hell yeah. Alright, back over to the Greenway. Oh, we need to start another mushroom culture, which means we need some spores. Perfect. Hook these up. Honestly, I'm feeling pretty stable right now on the eye. I feel like we're doing all right. Let that cook. Can't do anything in the Hypha Labs until I get that other thing. Can I do anything in the digital world out here? No. Let's head back over here. How many points do we have right now? 2. Let's save a 3. I want to put Intuit up to a +2. Is my plan at the moment. We don't need a ton right now. Maybe I'll start pulling some more data just to have it. We do technically get some money for that. Okay, we're good. Right, we stabilized at the beginning of this one. Okay, wow, what a fucking nothing of a die roll there. There's really nothing we can do at the moment. So let's go back to the area over here and go up to the hub. We haven't really explored this all that much. Up here, there is no gravity, so even just moving around takes a while to get used to, let alone navigating the bays. You start to draw connections from manifest to manifest, noting the patterns and flows. There is something beautiful in the chaos of accessing manifests. Wow. My dice are terrible. Shocking news. Okay, we got a few things going on here. The Gimbal Lounge, Spacer Sleeping Berths, and Bliss. No way, Moritz. You take those substandard filters back to the shitheels who sold you them. You hear the voice echoing out from the bay as you pass, and moments later, someone who you assume is Moritz drifts out, dragging a pile of filter cartridges by a tether. Hey, you, out there! The same voice echoes out of the entrance. Looking for work? Who, me? Everyone on the station is looking for work. Get in here. The voice is coming from someone shorter than you expected. She is floating in the microgravity of the docking bay beside a half-deconstructed life support unit that looks like it might have exploded at some point. She points a wrench in your direction. You know anything about these things? She doesn't wait for an answer. Scratch that. Just help me with the casing. Help her. All right, then. She deftly moves around the unit, making space for you beside the central seam in the dented case. Just take a grip here and lift out and up. Then I can get in and unbolt it. She whacks the unit with a wrench. Whole thing is twisted as shit. You dig your fingers under the casing and lift it away, the metal squealing from the force. She puts her hands under, spinning the wrench to slip out the bolts, catching them in her other hand when they spiral free. All good. The casing lifts off, revealing the ornate piping of the unit's interior. She whistles at the mess of ducts and filters. By the way, everyone called me Bliss. She pats you on the shoulder, offering little by way of explanation. Is this your bay? It is for now, yeah, whether I like it or not. She looks at you, like that should mean something. Bliss starts pushing and pulling at the ductwork, looking for fractured pipes. We haggle for contracts, but the good ones get snapped up quickly by the bigger bays. So here I am, trying to get this M2 unit running again for one of the freelance tugs. Small-time stuff. She looks very sci-fi. Yeah, I agree, Bridge. Hold this. She rips out a ribbed pipe and hands it to you like a freshly caught fish. We turn stuff around fast and neat, and maybe we get a chance at landing something bigger. Something starts hissing in the unit, and Bliss quietens it with a precise whack. But to be honest with you, the way things are going, I can already see the other crews licking their lips, ready to take this place over. She looks up at you. I'm almost out of luck. What happened? Long story. Some people just can't keep promises. She keeps working, twisting aside pipes with care. There we are. Bliss pulls her hand from deep inside the unit, and it comes out clutching a lumpen cube scorched black. Percussive maintenance always works. I was just flipped by quietins. I was just so ready to say quiets. This thing must have overloaded and popped half itself out the side. You both duck down to the side of the unit and spot the exit wound, its edges fringed with more scorch marks. Grab me a replacement converter from the racks, will you? Head to the rack. You kick off from the unit and drift over to the wall racks where a catalog of parts sits in clamps. Colored tape and scrawled notes flutter across the wall, a complex organizational system of Bliss's own design, or just a big mess. You try to pick out the right part. Do we know if it's an M2 converter or it's an M2, okay. You grab the part and push back to the unit. Bliss holds out an arm and you pass it over, the converter spinning gently as it leaves your hand. Perfect, you passed. She straightens up from the unit. That is, if you want to work here. Bliss rubs her hands clean, looking down at her palms. Truth is, I need a hand here. My partner skipped out on me and left me with a whole mess. You seem like you might be at least better at spotting a clean air filter than Moritz. I'd be happy to. Wait. She frowns at the rasks. That's not all of it. My old business partner, they rinsed the place, emptied the accounts. To bid for jobs, we need to put down deposits, bring in parts, pay tug fees. For that, she looks nervous, embarrassed. We need chits. You want me to pay to work? An investment? Exactly. Partners, straight split. Bliss settles herself against the unit and looks off into the distance. I guess I look pretty stupid here. Here I am asking any random passerby to be my business partner. No offense. She manages a smile. I get it. Thanks. She meets your eye. I appreciate it. Bliss goes back to working on the unit. Look, it's no pressure. You find the money, or you find someone who has, or you just forget the whole thing. Up to you. She gestures for you to help her refit the casing, and you both slot it back into place. I think I'm good to wrap this one up for now. But if you are into it, come back and we can bid on a new contract. Something to get our teeth into, something that pays. She gives you a serious look. You can trust me. I don't say this stuff lightly. You kick away from the bay, propelling yourself to the handholds at the entrance. You slip out with a wave, and as you do, someone slips back in. You hear Bliss as you glide down the passageway. Moritz, I swear to God, if those filters aren't clean. You smile. Seems like this could be interesting. Oh, I like Bliss. Bliss is fun. Buy a spacer meal. No, I'm good. Rent a capsule. The only place to sleep on the hub. Hacked off by a colony ship and welded to the ring, they are surprisingly expensive to rent. 80. A scam or an opportunity? Bliss seems solid enough, and this seems to be your best bet. Your best chance to get in on the hub's repair trade. Yeah, Bliss is fun. She may be where I'm spending my things while I wait for fucking mushrooms to grow. But I need to get some money first. And the easiest way to do that with ones is, I think, working the bar. You sleepwalk through your shift, eye on the clock. The sound seems to reverberate inside your skull. Well, it's not great. Let's try it again. It'll be fine. It was fine. People flowing in and out of the bar, keeping you busy. Your mind drifts to those easy fantasies of just passing through. How many more days to... Oh, right, I'm starving. How many more days... Excuse me. Jeez. How many more days do I have on these mushrooms? 2. Alright. stacks doesn't really help me all that much. Let's throw one in the commune just to get some energy back. Actually, I'll throw a... Yeah, that's fine. Are you different at all? Not really. I expected you to have, like, a story. Alright, I can make a lot of money here if I high stake play. So now I can invest in Bliss's thing. Here we go. That discount was a strong investment, I think.
Bliss is incredibly grateful. I'll pay you back every chit, I promise you.
You guess you two are partners now. Bliss is bidding on jobs at the hub. It'll take a few cycles and some perseverance before one comes in. Man! Can't do anything here. What are my other drives right now? Help Bliss, get to know Emphas. I need to get him some Matsutake caps, which I can't do. Yeah, I'm just waiting now. Let's make some cryo. Let's gamble. Gambling? Aw, dang it. Aw, dang it. Yeah, there's a little bit of hurry up and wait right now. We're a little bottlenecked by a bunch of clocks. We're either too efficient or not efficient enough, and I can't tell which. No downside to this, and I need the energy. One more. Two more for Bliss's bid. In the interim, we'll cross over to the rim. Keep gambling. I think just making a nice buffer of some money is going to be helpful. Oh no! Trap the mushroom in the red paint. I don't know how easy those are to clean off. Nice. Yeah, we just won a shitload of money in professional poker, basically. Beautiful. Alright. End cycle. See, maybe that's just the mushroom telling you it wants to be a Scarlet Rot theme. By diving face first into the rot. Okay. Our final one. Need to wait till it dries and cover up the red. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I didn't know how much that was gonna be able to be washed off or anything like that. I've never painted a mini before. Gonna use the red, but it's a later layer. Ah, gotcha. Okay, we've got a club head for Rico. We've got some Matsutakes for Emphas. Let's finish the Rico one. Finish our Rico case.
Rico is at her bench, running small vials of some liquid through an old chemical analysis machine. The whirring of the spinning drum fills the lab with white noise, and you aren't sure if she notices you approach. Mushroom can have a little swim in the blood lake as a treat.
Sleeper, it's good to see you.
She looks up, smiling.
This little project of ours has been keeping me awake the past few cycles, but right now, well, I think I have something.
What is it? The drum finishes spinning and Rico lifts a vial from it, holding it up to the light.
This is something I extracted from those club heads you've been bringing me. And according to my analysis, it is a substance totally unique on the Greenway.
You look at the small amount of liquid in the vial.
Any idea what it might be?
Rico asks without looking away from the vial. Stabilizer.
Rico nods. You aren't the first sleeper to come through here. Perhaps I should have mentioned that earlier.
Rico's tone suddenly drops, changing the atmosphere in the lab immediately.
I just thought...
She pauses, thinking very carefully of how to continue.
I just wanted you to trust us.
Stay silent.
They came through a fair few cycles ago, and we found them wandering in the broken section near the gap. The members who brought them in had never seen one of you before. They were terrified of this strange person wandering in from open vacuum. They were quieter than you, and damaged. We did our best to patch them up, and welcome them to the commune. I only really spoke to them once, while I was working on their wounds along with a couple of systems engineers.
She looks nervously at you.
I'd never seen a body like that before. I took some readings, samples.
Stay silent. Rico scans your face for any sign of a reaction.
The next cycle, they were gone. They took a little food and hiked up toward the wild margins, where the Greenway meets the wastes. Someone saw them in the distance, but that was it. They disappeared into the overgrowth.
She sits down, heavily, the vial in her hand.
When I saw you, I wanted things to be different. I wanted to keep you here rather than let you disappear into wherever they ended up.
She smiles to herself.
Yes, I wanted to understand this place better, but I also wanted to help you. It seems that somehow both my wishes have come true at once.
She holds out a hand with the vial.
This is for you.
You take the stabilizer, the glass cold and smooth in your palm.
How? Those club head caps made it for you, or at least who or whatever made those club heads.
She starts to clear her bench.
It was right there, contained in their tissue. I only had to extract it. I imagine you understand how incredible that is. I learned enough from that sleeper to know that your body, your frame, runs on some exotic technology. Exotic technology that has a time limit built in. Somehow, the Greenway knows that too. It understands your physiology much better than I ever could. It knows how to treat you. Just like that miraculous antidote that sprung from the mold, so too has this sprung from your presence here. The Greenway is speaking to you. It is welcoming you.
She looks up.
I know it sounds crazy, but I know it to be true. Here is the evidence. And what I also know is it is no longer speaking to me. Even after decades here, I have never seen this kind of response. Not since the antidote so many cycles ago.
She smiles.
So I'm gonna make you a deal. You bring me as many club heads as you like. I'll extract the stabilizer and give it to you freely. But you have to tell me what the Greenway says. You have to speak with it, to dig into it, to find what being is at the center of it. I've traveled as far as I can. I need you to do the rest. Can you do that?
Yes. Rico sighs with relief and deflates into her chair.
Thank you. I'm sorry for the other sleeper, truly I am. I'm sorry I couldn't have done more. But I'm so glad I met you.
She smiles.
You are welcome here at any time.
Rico falls silent. She looks smaller now, more fragile, and you realize how old she must be to have seen the collapse firsthand. You idle a little in the lab, in case she asks for anything else, but she remains silent. And so you drift back into the tunnel, thoughts of that other sleeper and where they ended up weighing on your mind. Interesting. Here it is. Plant seed. The only way to understand what gardener gave you is to grow it. Rico is incredibly excited by the prospect. Let's plant that. Grow our digital tree. I'll take good care of it, Sleeper. Rico smiles. Don't you worry. Oh, that's a while. Well, that's fair. We're growing an entire ass plant. 2 club heads to make a stabilizer. That's a pretty good fucking deal. Let's head over to Memphis, because he wanted some Matsutakes, I believe. Memphis mentions an old recipe for Matsutake broth. All he needs are 2 handfuls of Matsutake caps, freshly sourced. Memphis inhales the deep autumnal aroma of the Matsutake caps and nods. He seems impressed. We wait another 3 days for him? Oh! Yeah, 3. Okay. I thought that was a lot more segmented, but I was seeing the lights there. You need 4 scrap to be able to fix up that room. You sell scrap? No, you sell ship mine fragments. I don't want those. I've already re-rolled my dice. Oh, can I hack? I don't know what it'll get me at this point, but what else am I gonna do with a 1? Oh no, what I'm gonna do with a 1 is go to the commune and get free food. That's what I'm gonna do with a 1. Leave there, sleep there, nap time. Hey. A quiet voice greets you as you leave. Sleeper, it's me. Do I know you? Moritz. He pauses. I work for Bliss. He rubs the back of his head. You are not an easy person to find. I don't really have an address. Moritz holds up his hands. Hey, no judgment, it's cool. You both stand there for a moment, each waiting for the other to speak. So... well, Bliss needs you. A job just came in, a real big one. She's asking for you to come up and help her out. I'll be right... He nods sagely. I'll be right there. Nice, yeah. Moritz stands there for a little while, unsure if the message was delivered. I've got it. Cool. He looks around. Bliss just likes me to do a thorough job, you know? He rubs his hands together before burying them in his jacket pockets. See you, Sleeper. Moritz ambles down off the corridor, kicking out a filter cap on his way out. Time to head to Bliss's Bay, then. Okay. Let's see what Bliss wants. Here we go. Let's see. Tank recladding. Typically the way to fix this kind of leak. Somehow Bliss swung a tanker contract, but the catch is that the work needs to be turned around fast. Too fast. Sealing the leaks. The tanker's crew have detected a set of leaks, and they need to isolate and seal them as soon as possible. That's where you come in. Bliss has an idea. A full system flush with tracer fluid to reveal the leaks. Which means emergency venting of all tanks. Brilliant. Dangerous. Yeah, I got a 6. I'll throw a 6 on that. You carefully trigger the emergency sequence, and the tracer fluid does its job. All the leaks are revealed. Now you just need to seal them. Oh, I can only do that once. Okay. We'll tank reclad. Then, oop. Nope. Do the thing. Okay. Your careful and focused inspection is rewarded with the discovery of a set of leaks. You seal them up tight. Perfect. As you both wait in the airlock for it to cycle back to the bay, Bliss thumps you on the arm. Nicely done, Sleeper. We cleared out the contract, no problem. She stretches. Once we are back in the bay, we can check if the payment has come through and divide it up. She stretches. Feels good. The airlock clunks and the lights flicker, and a moment later you are back in the bay where Moritz is at the racks, trying to figure out where the mess of tools Bliss left in her wake should be hung. Leave him be. You look over at Blitz, who is... I keep wanting to call her Blitz for some reason. I think it's Moritz and Bliss. Means I want to call him Blitz. You look over at Bliss, who is already gliding over to her management console. She twirls a little as she crosses the cavernous bay. No one you've ever met moves as well in zero-G as she does. It's like she was born into it. Shit! Bliss slams a fist onto the console. Shit, shit, shit! What's up? I can't even... Bliss closes her eyes. Come here. Bliss calls you over. Look at this, just look! She spins the terminal screen and you see the details for the bay's account. You see an entry for the Ember's Wake, a repair fee paid in full the moment you finished the job, but then directly after, the whole amount was transferred back out into an unknown account. What the hell? This is the work of my ex! She punches the terminal. He must have coded a backdoor into this machine before he left. She rubs her forehead. There's no way we can... She pauses, thinking. Moritz, throw me that wrench. What's that for? Moritz spins the wrench across the bay. Bliss smiles. This? Bliss brings the wrench down on the terminal hard. You flinch backward as a hail of computer parts spill up into the bay in a glittering arc. Fragments of screen, memory, sections of the casing. When Bliss is done, she clips the wrench to her tool belt. Try backdooring your way into that, you shit! Moritz drifts out from his hiding place among the racks. Bliss, he says tentatively. You want me to... He looks at the arc of fragments drifting around the bay nervously. Bliss shakes her head. No, she sighs. I've got it. You go get me a new terminal, cheapest you can find. Cobble one together from pieces at the Ord Exchange if you have to. Can I help? Bliss glides over to a panel by the wall. Don't worry, one of the first things I had installed when we spec'd out this place was a cleaning sweep. She flicks over a plastic cover on a huge red button. Watch yourself. She hammers the button, and a row of laser emitters unfold from the bay wall. They start crawling their way across the work area, frying the debris, as they do in pulses of burning light. Bliss smiles. It's that, or just space the whole bay every few cycles. You okay? Not really. She stares at the sweep panel. Just don't seem to be able to extricate myself from this shit, no matter how hard I try. The cleaning sweep buzzes and crackles as it works its way across the bay. That account wasn't everything. I'm not that stupid. Once Moritz gets back, I'll secure it and flush everything else. She flicks a nearby piece of debris into the path of the sweep. Clean break. And we take another contract. That's it. She shuts off the sweep as it reaches the near end of the bay. Don't you want the cryo back? Oh, I want it, but it's gone. You could have transferred it anywhere. She looks out across the hub. And even if I knew where he was, the last thing I want is to ever see him again. She rubs her forehead. I'm sorry, Sleeper. I know you worked for this too, but next time won't be the same. It's okay. She smiles. I'll see you in a few cycles. Moritz will let you know. She winks and kicks off into the bay to finish cleaning up. Aw, poor Blitz. Bliss. Fuck. I keep doing it. I have to stop. Okay. I think, however... Oh no, let's spend our last die first. Then I'll wrap for the thing. I don't know what we can do with this. Let's gamble. When in doubt, continue to increase the amount of money we have in this little thing. Perfect. Excuse me. And then let's head over. Actually, no, let's just do it here. Empty container. End cycle. Beautiful. Okay. And I think with that, I'm gonna call it here. It's around that time. I don't think I can really get anything else started right now. So I think I will end it here and let you all go. Thank you all for coming and showing up as usual. I really appreciate it every time. I think we're nearing towards the end of this game, at which point we will pivot on over to Citizen Sleeper 2 and see how the series has developed. As always, thank you for joining me. I hope you had a good time, and I will see you all tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye. Hey, if you stuck around to the end of the video, I just wanted to say thank you, and I hope that you enjoyed. If you want to help support me in making more of this, you can follow me on Twitch, where I stream these live. Like, comment, and subscribe. I suspect you all know how this works by now, but it really does help a lot. Thanks.